All right, everybody. Hello, welcome. Happy Thursday. For those of you that do not know who I am, my name is Destiny Prater. I'm a 2-star double platinum. Been in the business for over 3 years. Absolutely love what I do. Wouldn't trade it for the world. This is a training on organizing your business. Really quick before we get started, can you guys put in the chat box, how long have you been in the business? How long have you been here? I'm curious to see, because honestly, this training is going to help everybody regardless, especially if you're an unorganized person. And I'm not saying that I'm the most organized person by any means, but I do have a few tips and tricks that I think will help a lot of people. That's why I do this training. If you are brand new, I will tell you, I think this training is perfect for you. Typically because when you first start, you're a little bit overwhelmed. There's a lot of different websites and things to remember and stuff like that, right? What do you do with it all? So that's what I'm going to kind of help you guys with today. Okay. Let's see here. We got 6 weeks, a week, 2 months, 2 days, 6 months, a month, 5 days. A lot of you are, 90 days and under. Okay, we got some people who've been here for quite some time, almost a year. Okay. Okay, so we got a good mixture, which is fine. All right, excuse me. Okay, so this is being recorded. I will post it on my YouTube channel today. Let me give you guys my YouTube channel link for those of you that do not have it. Make sure you guys subscribe because that's how you're going to get all the upcoming trainings, right? Putting the YouTube channel link in the chat box for you guys. Make sure you grab it and subscribe. Of course, we have our marketing training happening tomorrow, guys. Here is the marketing training that's happening tomorrow. Okay, so make sure you guys jump on that training as well. Haven't figured out what the 2 topics are going to be. Last week we did TikTok and I don't remember what the other thing was, but we did email marketing and TikTok last week. This week we'll do a different 2 different subjects. So make sure you guys are on that tomorrow as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Guys, you guys can absolutely ask questions along the way. I prefer that you use the chat box at the end. Of course, I will let you guys unmute and ask questions, but if you have a question during the meeting, just put it in the chat box. I'll try to get to them. Okay. All right. So let's get started here. So one of the very first things I highly recommend is having a note-taking app. Okay, a note-taking app, guys. There's so many different platforms out there that you can use. Okay, there is something called OneNote. Okay, this is the app OneNote. You can actually go to OneNote online here and create an account if you want. It's a really good note-taking app. It's up to you what note-taking app you want to use. I'm going to give you guys a few different examples here, and you guys can pick which one you want to use. Can't remember which one. Oh no. You guys can all still hear me, right? Just making sure my internet didn't go out. Okay. So this is called OneNote, right? You guys can use this. There are other note-taking apps out there. So I have the app downloaded on my computer, which is what I prefer. It's up to you. You guys can use OneNote. There is an app called Notion, which I can show you guys. Okay, there's a website or an app even called Notion that you guys can use for your note-taking app. They have Apple Notes, which I also use Apple Notes. If you have an iPhone, you guys can have that on your phone. And of course, up on your computer, which I have as well. There's something called Evernote that you guys can use. Okay, Evernote. These are all note-taking apps, right? And there's a lot of things we can do with these note-taking apps. Okay, so you guys pick which one you want, explore them all. They're all free. They all have paid versions, I believe. I just use it for free, which is pretty much all you guys will need it for. You shouldn't need to pay for it. I have, for the last 3 years, I've always used OneNote, right? And I keep a lot of information in here. This is kind of like a 2-in-1 organization tip. As you can see, I have a list of phone numbers here. These are supplier phone numbers. Okay, so that's kind of like an extra side tip, right? I have my note-taking app, which is tip 1, and then I have a whole list of vendors' phone numbers here. Okay, it's just easier for me to have their phone numbers in one place, so that way if I need to call them, instead of going through the travel cafe and trying to find the phone number, I have a list of them, right? And all these phone numbers, guys, I got out of the travel cafe. Does everybody know how to find the phone number for the vendors? Right? You just go to the travel cafe, go to suppliers, find that supplier, and there's usually a phone number on that page. Everybody understand how to do that? That is how I got these numbers, okay? Yes, this is on OneNote. Yep. So OneNote, you guys can do a lot with. It doesn't matter what note-taking app you're using. I recommend having like a to-do list, right? So you guys can keep track, which I was just getting ready to start this right before the class started. I was getting ready to make myself a to-do list, which is important, right? You guys can even do it on paper and pen if you want. Yeah, you guys can absolutely do that. It doesn't have to necessarily be on something on your computer. You can use a notebook if you want to. I personally can't do that because I lose the paper. So I cannot do that. Here's some other things in here. Let's see. I would keep track of like bookings and stuff, right? Booking information in here I would keep track of. I would take recordings, such as, a lot of the time when a agent does a recording or a leader does a recording, they put it on in the chats for you guys. They put it on the Facebook pages for you guys. I'll grab those. I'll copy the link and I'll save them here in my note-taking app so I can come back later and watch them, right? That's a really good idea to do, right? So you guys always have access to that. Okay. Let's see here. What else do I have for you? Okay, so basically, is there any other note-taking apps that any of you guys use that you recommend besides the ones we mentioned? We mentioned OneNote, Notion, Apple Notes, Evernote. If there's anything else you guys recommend, feel free to put it in the chat box and I will read it out loud. I love Notes. It's just called Notes. Yeah, and I'll tell you that the Apple Notes, you guys can, it's a notepad on your phone, right? On Apple. You guys can pull it up on the computer as well. Pretty much all of them you can. Let's see here. You have a Samsung Notes. I used to use the Notes app that's on your iPhone. Yeah, so that's what I use as well. You can actually pull up iCloud Notes on the computer as well though too, which is the same thing. There's something called Good Notes. Okay, that's probably a good one too. Yeah, so guys, there's tons of them. You guys can literally just get on Google and search note-taking app, right? And find tons. Okay, so you guys pick what you want, but highly recommend. Okay, you have to have somewhere to store information, right? Okay, so the other thing here I wanted to pull up is a password sheet. Okay, how many of you guys that are new are struggling trying to keep track of all the different websites and the passwords and your usernames and all that stuff? How many of you guys are struggling with that? Let's see here. Let me find it. Hmm. Okay. This is a little password sheet that I made Okay, I actually, if you guys put your email in the chat box, I'll email it to you, or you can just make your own. I just did it on a Word doc. You guys, let's say you're registering for Expedia tap, right? You just put in Expedia tap on here, right? You guys can print this out, whatever you want to do with it. And you guys put your login information, your password. If you want to put the website URL in, you can. Maybe you want to add that this is a supplier, so right? It's up to you. Maybe you guys need to keep track of your back office password. You guys can put that in here. Okay. Whatever it is, right? It's just a way to keep track of all the different sites. Okay. I have gotten a lot of feedback as far as having something like this, and you don't necessarily have to use this exact one. You can make your own, you can write it on paper, but just it's good to have something, right? So that way, every time you try to log into something, you're not, oh, I forgot my password, right? It's a hassle. So have something that you are using to keep track of all your login information. It will come in handy, I promise you. Okay, I did not have this when I first started, and I wish I would have thought of it. I was trying to keep everything in my head, right? Everybody that put your email, guys, do not worry. I will email you this after the meeting, okay? So right along with this, I'm going to talk about Google Chrome. Do all of you guys use Google Chrome? Yes or no? Yes, a lot of you. If you don't, I highly recommend it, because just with our back office and our travel cafe, all of our systems, right, for Archer and Evolution just tend to work better on Google Chrome. So if you don't use Google Chrome, I really highly recommend it. What I would do is have folders, right? Because we all bookmark stuff, right? Have folders in order to keep it more organized. So up here at the top of my bookmarks bar, you guys see that I have different folders, right, for different stuff. And for example, right here's my vendors folder. All of my vendors are bookmarked underneath this folder. So if I need to get to Vax, bam, it's right here. I can get to it extremely easy. Okay. And then it also helps me understand that all these websites are vendors, right? Because I know when you're new, it's confusing. Okay, it can be extremely confusing. So does anybody already do this? I can actually walk you guys through the few couple steps to get this set up. It's very simple. Okay, so if you guys want to follow along, I recommend it. Let me show you exactly how to do this. First of all, you have to make sure that you are seeing, let's see, you have to make sure that you are seeing your bookmarks bar up here at the top. Okay, if you do not see your bookmarks bar, what you guys need to do is come up here to the top right hand corner and click on the three dots. Okay, you'll come down to where it says bookmarks, and you'll make sure it has show bookmarks bar check marked. Okay, make sure that's check marked. If it's not check marked, your bookmarks bar goes away, right? So we want to open that back up. Bookmarks, and go to show bookmarks bar. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, let's say we wanted to, let me delete this bookmark here. Okay, let's say we wanted to bookmark Vax. Okay, first thing we need to do is create a folder for our vendors. So you're going to go to your bookmarks bar. You're going to right click on just an empty space in your bookmarks bar. So if you just right click, you can come down here to where it says add folder. Okay, so we're going to create a folder. Okay, the folder name will be, I'm going to come down here where it says new folder. We're going to create a folder, and the name is going to be, we'll just call it vendors and suppliers, or no, vendors / suppliers. Okay, and then we're just going to click save. Okay, so typically it pops up right here, right? It'll just pop up here, but mine did not, and that is because I accidentally put it underneath my vendors folder already. So what I'm going to do is just grab it and drag it. I'm just going to drag it There we go. There is our vendors and suppliers folder. So what we're going to do, I accidentally put 2 folders. Oops, I'm going to delete this one. Okay, so right here is our vendors and suppliers folder. So I'm going to bookmark that underneath that. Super easy. All you have to do is click on the star button in the top right-hand corner of your browser. That is how you bookmark something. You click that, you put in the name, right? This is going to be our VAX vendor, and you select the folder you want it to go under. We're going to put it under our vendors and suppliers folder. Click done. So now if you come over here, click on your vendors and suppliers folder, it's there. Does that make sense? If you guys have a question about that, I'll let you unmute. You guys can unmute and ask your question if you have a question about it. Yes, no questions about that? Pretty simple. Okay. Yeah, so it's super easy. Yes, it's life-changing, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and delete mine, right? I'm just gonna right click on it and delete it because I already have my vendors folder, right? So I don't need to, let me fix it here. There we go. I don't need to have 2. Yeah, you can move bookmarks, you know, if you need to switch folders. For example, if I wanted to move one of these bookmarks into another folder, it's super easy. You just drag and drop. So for example, let's say I needed to move Expedia Tap to a different folder. I could grab it, you just drag it, put it over here into another folder, and it's there. Okay, I'm going to drag it back though, and it's there, right? You just drag and drop. Okay. Yeah, so Michaela just pointed out, made a really good point. When you guys are logging into stuff on Google Chrome, let's say I was to log in here, a lot of the time, once you hit login, a little box will pop up here and it'll say, do you want to save your password? And your username and password. I always click yes. So anytime I log into something, my passwords and stuff are already there, right? It automatically remembers them. I still recommend, even though you guys might have your Google Chrome saving your usernames and passwords, I still recommend having some type of password sheet just to help you kind of keep track of different websites and stuff like that. Okay, how did I get the folder to show? All you do is go to your bookmarks bar and right click and click add folder to create another folder. You just click add folder. Right click on the bookmarks bar and click add folder. Okay, so is that helpful, guys? Pretty helpful. Let's see here. Okay, so another thing that I think is super helpful. You guys know when you're working on something, maybe a Word doc, and you're saving stuff to your computer, sometimes it's very just everywhere, right? I personally like using a platform. There's 2 different platforms I recommend. There is something called Google Drive, okay? And there is something called OneDrive, okay? Google Drive and OneDrive are very similar platforms. Basically, all it is let me show you guys here. Let me open up a Word doc. Okay, so let's say that I needed to save this. Okay, I'm going to click File. I'm going to save a copy of it because I already have it saved. Okay, it's called Supplier Sheet. Okay, right, which is fine. I'm just going to change the name to Password Sheet. Password Sheet. You guys save it to your computer, right? I'm not going to resave it because I don't want to lose it. You guys would save it to your computer, okay? And basically what you do is you'll come to your Google Drive or your OneDrive, whichever platform you choose to use, you guys can upload it to here. The reason why I recommend using something like this is because you can put stuff in folders. So for like an example, I have a folder down here. So let's just make a new folder. We're going to create a new folder. This is going to be, maybe we want to call this our Word Word documents or something, whatever you want to call it, right? Create, or maybe you want to call it quotes for clients, whatever you want to call it, right? We have a new folder. Where did our folder go? There it is, Word documents. You guys can open up that folder and add stuff in here. You guys can click upload files, and add stuff in here, right? So let's say I wanted to upload these 2 images. Open. This is just an example. Bam. And now they're saved into this folder where I can access them easily, right? It's just a way to stay more organized, guys. It's a way to have folders for certain things so you know exactly where everything's at, instead of, counting on your whatever it's called, your folder on your computer to try to do that, right? So I will tell you, so it's called OneDrive and it's called Google Drive. There's 2 different platforms, OneDrive and Google Drive. If you are catching the recording, all the links will be in the description, okay, of the video. I can also drop the links in the chat. If you guys need them, let me know. But one thing that's really cool with Google Drive is you can actually color coordinate, which is kind of cool. You can change the different colors of the folders. As you see, I have different folders here. Let me see how I can, yeah, there we go. As you can see, these are all the different folders, right? And a lot of them have colors. All you have to do is right click on it after you make a folder, change the color. You guys can change the color to whatever you want, right? I think that's pretty cool. So I don't use both. Well, I'm in the middle of switching from one to another. So that's why I have stuff on one and stuff in the other. I'm in the middle of trying to switch everything over to a, no, I used to use Google Drive, right? And now I'm switching over to OneDrive. So that's why I have stuff in both. So I'm in the middle of switching over. I just like the layout better of OneDrive. That's why I'm going to start using that. But they're both really good platforms. I just think that this looks more cleaner, and that's why I like it. So
I got a question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, this is Lawrence Bullard. So when you're doing all this information you have here, is this just on one computer, or are you using a dual computer system, or are you just, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
I have 2 screens. That's what I have. I have 2 screens. So do you just use one computer for everything that you do?
Yeah, so right now, I typically have a dual monitor thing set up, but right now I don't have my home office set up. I just use my laptop right now. So yeah, I only have one monitor right now. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, let's see. Any other questions, guys? The other thing I was thinking of was that you guys can, I don't know, do any of you guys wish there was an easier way to kind of, when upcoming trainings are coming, like for example, like I mentioned earlier, we have a training tomorrow. We have a marketing training happening tomorrow. It would be nice for you guys to have a way to remember, hey, I have this training I want to attend tomorrow, right? So this is what I recommend doing. There's many different ways you guys can do this, but this is what I recommend. On your computer or on your phone, whichever one you prefer, on your computer, there is typically a calendar, okay? If you don't know where it's at, go to your computer and search on there. You guys can search for apps, right? And just type in calendar and it should pop up. Okay, I'm going to open up my calendar. And mine's already pinned down here to my taskbar. Are you guys able to see my taskbar or no? Can you guys see it? Yes. Okay. So down here at the bottom, you see it's pinned already. If you don't know how to pin something down here, all you do is right click on it and click pin, right click pin. Okay. What I would do is, so for example, if you wanted to attend that meeting tomorrow, all you have to do is open up your calendar, and this can be something that you guys check every morning, right? To see what's happening. So you guys can open up your calendar, type in marketing training. Okay. And you guys can input the time that it's happening at, which I forget what time was it? It's happening at noon PST time. So you guys can change this to it's happening at 12 p.m. and it ends at 1 p.m. Right? If you guys want to add in more details, you guys can actually come in here and add more details and put in the Zoom information or whatever you want, right? So you guys have all the information to attend. I highly recommend doing this. I think that people need to attend more trainings, and this is a really good way to like remind yourself. So every morning you guys could get up, check your calendar, see what's happening for the day, right? That's just a recommendation. That's something that I recently I just got a new laptop like 2 days ago. So my calendar right now is empty, right? I usually have everything I do on my calendar, but it's empty right now. So I'm not using it. And maybe you guys are not the type, maybe you're not a technical person, right? And you don't like using things like a calendar on your computer. So what you guys could do is just go to the store and buy a little calendar. So there are like calendar whiteboards. You guys can buy like a planner from Walmart or wherever, and they'll have calendars in them. You guys can use those to kind of keep track on what you guys are wanting to attend and stuff like that, right? Let's see. Jessica says she uses her alarms each morning with the trainings for each hour. Okay, let me reread that. I also use my alarm and set each morning with training for each hour, if that makes sense. Yeah, so using like your phone alarm and let it to remind you that, hey, there's a training happening at this time, that's a good idea too, right? Google Calendar will automatically add the info if you click on the event. I don't know how to make it automatically add the info. I usually just manually input it. That's just me, but somebody else uses whiteboards. Yeah, see, that's a really good idea too. I used to actually use a whiteboard, but I recently switched. So this is just the count. Yeah, so I have a Microsoft Office, a Microsoft computer, not Microsoft Office computer. I have a Microsoft computer. So this is just the calendar that comes with Microsoft. I have never used an Apple computer, so theirs might be a little bit different. But I guarantee you, if you search on your Apple computer, whatever computer you have, a calendar, they're going to have a calendar on there somewhere, right? Okay, so we have some more time. I guess I have a lot more to give you. Usually I talk a lot, so usually I can only get through like 4 or 5 things, but it looks like I have more time. So cool. We'll talk about some other stuff then. Okay, so if you guys attended my training the other day, we were talking about email lists, right? This is organization, and it's kind of like it's going to be kind of like a marketing tip as well. Okay, guys. Oh, that Sheen website was just a website that pulled up. I don't even know why that pulled up. I was just trying to show you guys an example of what a calendar looked like, or like a planner looked like, and that pulled up. I was actually trying to pull up planners at Walmart, and yeah, they have tons of different planners, and that website Sheen just came up, but Sheen's typically a clothing store. I don't even know why that popped up. Yeah, so ignore that part. I was just trying to show you guys what a planner looked like. They're pretty cool. I actually used to use a planner. I recently switched to doing it into a calendar on my computer. So and they're fairly cheap, guys. Fairly cheap. You guys can get a really cheap planner for like $5 to $6. Worth it, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? Okay, so this is going to be like an organization / marketing type stuff. Guys, I always recommend having an email list. Have any of you guys started an email list? Yes or no? Has anybody in here started an email list? A lot of no's. Okay. Yeah, no, a lot of no's, and that's fine. So an email list is basically where anytime you come across an email, you save it, right? I have an email list. I use an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of my email list. Okay, and obviously I don't want to give away my emails, so I'm going to scroll down here. Wait, I created a, where is it? Okay, yeah, this is my fake email list. This was just an example, guys, and this is my fake one. So these emails are not real, so don't try to steal them because they're fake. They're not real email addresses. This is my email list I use as an example for you guys. So basically what you'll do is every time you come across an email, you'll grab that email and you'll save it on your email list. Now, why are we doing this, right? What is the point? This is kind of like the marketing tip. So you're doing this because you're going to use an email marketing platform to send out promotional emails, to send out mock booking emails, to send out all kinds of information, right? Travel tips and stuff like that. Guys, it's a really good way to market yourself. And I don't want to get on the marketing subject because I don't want to turn this into a marketing training because I love doing those, but I'm trying to keep it organizational. But I will give you guys a little tip here. Where is my marketing platform? I use something called Constant Contact. Okay, I use Constant Contact. Let me see if I can get logged in here. I did create an account. I had to create a new account, but let me get logged in. Yeah, so the email list can be clients' emails. It can be potential clients' emails. Let's say you have your own personal website and people are subscribing to your email list on there. It can be those emails that you collected from there. You guys can post on social media to collect emails. You guys can put forms on your social media, a form that you created to collect emails. Anyway, you guys will be surprised how many emails you come across. Okay. Anytime you come across an email, your first thought should be, oh, I need to save this, right? Because you guys could turn those into clients later on. So this is called Constant Contact. Okay. Oh, I actually have, I hope I don't forget. I need to write these down. I'm gonna forget. Hang on one second. I have two more ideas I gotta tell you guys about after this. So there is a free version of Constant Contact. There's also a free, I think it's like a free trial. Yeah, so I believe they give you 60 days, okay? A 60-day free trial, which is a very long free trial. I have 44 days left in mine. Guys, there's a lot of different things you guys can do here on Constant Contact. You guys can post on social media all at once if you want to, multiple different platforms all at once. You guys can create emails. So let's say we're going to create an email and we're going to send it to our email list. So I'm going to click on create an email. Let me show you guys how cool this is. Okay. Now, if we scroll down here, these are email templates, professional email templates, guys. We could do, let's scroll up. Let's see if they have a travel. Let's search travel and see what they got. Okay, I'm just gonna select one. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna select this one right here. We're gonna select it. So what you guys can do is, put your logo up here. Okay. You guys can go through, edit all the information to your liking, right? You guys can change the text. You guys can change the photos of stuff. Maybe what you guys should do is look up a mock booking, right? If you don't know what a mock booking is, ask your mentor for a mock booking training. Okay, a mock booking is just a travel ad that you're promoting, okay, that you made up. You guys could put mock booking information in here, right? Maybe this can be, a trip to Cancun, and you guys can put in all the information for the mock booking, and that will be your promotional email for the day, right? Whatever you guys want, right? I highly recommend doing this, guys. It's a really good way to get clients, and I don't mean to turn this into a marketing training, but it's something I think everybody should do. Okay. So enough with that. I recently, and I used to use a different platform. I honestly couldn't even tell you what it is now. There is something called Plannable. Okay, Plannable is a way to post on your social medias at once, right? So let's say you are trying to post a mock booking and you want to post your mock booking on Facebook and Instagram at the same time, or you want to post something on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time, right? To keep it easier, right? It's faster, it's easier, you're not taking up too much time. Or maybe you want to plan out posts, right? You want to schedule posts ahead of time. Maybe you just don't have time every day to sit down and make a post. What you can do is schedule them out ahead of time, okay? So, for example, here, this is called Plannable. I'll give you guys the website. 1 second here. Let's see here. Okay, so it's called Plannable. I'm gonna send you guys this, which should direct you to make an account. Here's the link. Okay, so we can create a post. Okay, and you guys can write whatever you want. Okay, I'm just gonna make something up here. 5 nights in Cancun. I'm making this up, right? We'll just put in July. And then we'll put trip includes, this is like, I'm making up a mock booking without actually looking it up. Don't ever do this. I'm just showing you guys an example. Round trip flights, resort, all-inclusive resort. We'll say snorkeling, which I think I spelled that wrong. Yeah, I did. Snorkeling activity, hotel, transportation, deposits starting at, we'll just say 500 just to show you. 500. Okay. You guys can add in your photos or whatever you want to add in, okay? And you guys can actually post it on multiple platforms. Why is mine not working? Oh, okay, I have to reconnect my platforms. That's why it's obviously I can't post this on TikTok, but I gotta reconnect my Instagram platform for me to be able to do that. But anyway, you guys can edit what they look like on each platform, right? This is my Facebook business page. This is my TikTok. This is my Instagram. We can post it, okay, or we can schedule it ahead of time. You guys can schedule it ahead of time, right? You guys can do this for the whole week, right? You guys can plan it out for the whole week. Okay, so right now this is the free plan. I'm on a free plan. I think they're giving me a free trial right now. Let's see here. Let's go to, where is pricing? Go to pricing. So they have a free version. You get 50 free posts. Okay. You guys can also do monthly plans or yearly plans. $13 a month, you know, whatever. It's up to you guys. You guys can just do the free version. But I think that $13 a month is not bad at all for having unlimited posts. You guys can post on 4 social media platforms all at once. You guys can set it up for the whole week or month or whatever you want to do. Seems well worth it for me. How do I keep the balance between me posting and branch up? It seems like a lot of posts in one day. Don't ever worry about posting too much in one day. Honestly, if branch up posts twice in the day and you post 3 times, that's fine. I always say the more the better. I would not count branch up posts. And for those of you that don't know what branch up is, it's a platform that posts to your social media automatically. Okay, this is the website for it, for any of you guys that don't know what it is. But what I would do, I would not count branch up as, oh, I posted already. You know what I mean? You want to keep that different, keep those separate. Yes, Glenda, I hope I'm saying your name right. Socialmonials is another platform where you guys can post on multiple platforms at once. That is another platform. I'll put the link in the chat. I think there's a free version as well for this. Put that in the chat for you guys. Another thing I wanted to bring up was a tax app. Guys, it's super important that you guys keep track of your tax information. I'm not a tax expert, so do not ask me what expenses you need to keep track of. What I will tell you, okay, you guys need to call a tax professional for that. Okay, I don't want to give you guys wrong information and somebody say, well, Destiny Prater said I could do this, you know. So what I will tell you is I use Expensify. Okay, I'll give you guys the website for Expensify. Here's the website. And what I do is, so I'm going to click on new expense up here. I'm going to click on manually create. So I am going to do my phone bill, right? I have a business account through Verizon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of the receipt from where I paid my bill. So what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of my receipt. This is my phone bill receipt. Okay. I'm going to save it to my computer. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my Expensify app. I'm going to upload the photo, import from computer, select on the receipt. Okay, there's the photo of the receipt, right? I'm going to go ahead and fill in some of this information. I'm going to put down, this is my Verizon wireless. I'll put phone bill so I know. Okay. It has today's dates. Actually, I should probably put the date of the receipt, which was, where's the date at? What date did I get this on? Date 1/2. Okay. There we go. The total amount was $880. Okay. Category, I don't really know. Taxes, category taxes. Okay. If you guys need to add in any other information, you can, and then just click save. So that way at the end of the year when it's tax time and your tax professional is asking for certain information, bam, you guys have the information to give them, right? It is 100% free. You don't have to worry about paying. It's a really easy way to keep track of stuff. Okay. This is the Socialmonials website. I'll put it in the chat box. I just seen somebody ask. Guys, I see lots of questions in the chat. I'm going to go through it. Feel free to unmute as well. And I'll go ahead and start answering questions. So I don't think a business account is cheaper, but there's a lot of benefits to having a business account through Verizon. I will tell you that I get, like, I remember when I went in to get my business account, we got like 2 phones, 2 tablets, 2 watches, and they let me get, I think, 5 or 6 different accessories like phone cases and stuff like that at a very discounted rate. I think I ended up getting like 40% off or something, but there's just a lot of benefits to having it. Let's see here. AppSumo, okay. I'm scrolling through the questions. If you guys have a question, you guys can unmute. We're gonna kind of start doing Q&A now. Let's see.
This is Danielle Ring. I had a quick question about Constant Contact. Does it allow people that you are emailing to respond back indicating they don't want your emails anymore? Does it have a way of tracking
So they'll
know,
be
or-
able to unsubscribe from the emails.
Okay.
When they respond back to you, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, it goes back to the email that is connected to that account. So you'll get the replies. But they also have an option to unsubscribe. And you guys can always, like, before you send an email, you can always preview and test it. So you can like send a test email to yourself if you guys want to see what it looks like. Oh, well, I can't do it because I have to verify my account first. But you guys can always send like a test email to yourself, and it should even show you like, oh, this is where they can unsubscribe and all that stuff. So, and you'll actually be able to see when they do that kind of stuff.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be sure that there was a way of tracking that so that if, you know, since if we're putting everybody and their brother in there, that, you know, people that don't want to get it anymore can opt out.
yeah, yep, you'll be able to see when they unsubscribe, and you'll be able to send emails to just the people that are subscribed, if that's what you want to do. Yeah. Yep.
And
Good.
I would like to chime in real quick on that, if that's okay.
Yep.
So it is actual United States federal law that anytime you are representing yourself, a company or a corporation, that when you're doing marketing, you email communication or text communication marketings, that you offer an opt-out option. So that is a requirement. Just
Yeah,
wanna
well,
throw that
that's
out
why
there.
when you guys are using an email marketing platform like Constant Contact, even any of the other ones, there's always going to be an unsubscribe button. Yeah, so you guys shouldn't have to worry about that too much. MailChimp is free as well. Yep, see, I haven't used MailChimp. I've heard about it. I've been on the platform, but haven't really got into it too much. I use a Google Voice number for my business. That's fine. You can use a Google Voice number. I personally had an issue with Google Voice back when I very first started 3 years ago. I remember talking to a client. They thought it was a scam because of my Google Voice number. That was my experience. I know a lot of agents that still use Google Voice and have good success with it. I just personally use my cell phone because I don't care to use my number. So if you want a Google Voice number, you can. There's also probably other platforms out there you guys could Google for like a second business line. I will tell you, through Verizon, I actually, at one point when I first went to Verizon and set up my business account, they gave me a second business line. So it was like a line connected to my phone number. It was just like Google Voice. I downloaded an app and it was a whole nother phone number with my phone, if that makes sense. So it was pretty cool, actually. Yep. Let's see. So there's a lot of benefits to having business accounts with stuff. Any other questions, guys? I think I went over everything. Let me go ahead and give you guys my YouTube channel. That's where this recording will be, of course. And any other recordings, guys. I have quite a few trainings on here now that you guys can access. I know I did a social media hacks a while back. I need to do another one of those for you guys. So make sure you guys are subscribed so that way you guys can get all the upcoming trainings. And do not forget, guys, mark your calendars tomorrow, marketing training, okay? Oh my gosh, I just remembered something. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay, there we go.